Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's October 18th, 2019, and I thought I'd share with you one of the systems that we're using nowadays to help us save some money. And this is it right here. Making your own vegetable stock at the time of the year when you're trying to get all of the produce, all of the materials out of your gardens and all. So that's what I thought I'd share with you, is the process that we go through in order to can our vegetable stock. Vegetable stock, surprising to me, Thea told me it's between $3.50 and $4.50. The organic, salt, oil, and sugar-free vegetable stock that she buys. So here we are. It's the end of the season. It's October. The rains, the winds have come in our cold, temperate climate. So we got to get all of that produce out of the gardens and either go into a compost system, which most people would do, or in our case, we're actually diverting it over to providing organic matter for the pond ceiling. But that material, it can go through one more process before it goes to our garden beds, to the base of the mulching for our food forest or our composting system or for pond ceiling. That material can be diverted transiently to help us provide a good vegetable stock, a healthy, organic, non-GMO, salt-free, good vegetable stock. So how do we do it? So we go through the garden. I went through when it was time to get all the tomato plants out the other day. I took a 5-gallon bucket, filled it up with the unripened, nothing's moldy or decomposing when I'm collecting these vegetables. So I fill up a 5-gallon bucket and we put that out in our garage refrigerator. And then I went through, we needed leeks for some of the cooking projects that Thea's doing. So right now she's doing more dehydrating, canning, cooking, freezing, all of those things with the foods that are coming out of the gardens. So I took some leeks, took some carrots, I grabbed a lot of kale. I took all of that material, and that would have just gone to waste because we've already filled up all our systems and all. So those materials, what we want to do is go ahead and bring it in here into our, it's called a Bio Classic stainless steel 16-gallon stock pot. Now this stock pot has a valve on the bottom down here. It's a ball valve, so it just turns 90 degrees and it opens it up. Ours leaks a little bit, so I put another little spigot on the end of it to keep it from dripping during the whole process. But I gather up all the different vegetables in the garden, whether it's the stems from broccoli, the stems and the leaves from cauliflower, the tops of the leeks, the tomatoes that are there, the herbs, the coriander, the parsley, the mint, the lemon balm, the thyme, oregano, all of the different, and whatever herbs you have, the outer wraps of onions if you're dealing with them, whatever it may be that you're growing in your gardens, as long as it's not decomposing and it's in good shape. And during the winter months, let's say when you're cooking your different meals and you have some extra, there's no way that you're going to be able to eat those beet greens because you already have enough, or you have too many beets, or you have the outer wraps of the garlic or the onions, any of those things, you can put them in a bag into the freezer. And then when you get the opportunity, take those bags out of the freezer, take some of your garden produce if you've got that as well, and you can cook it down into some great vegetable stock. So we've got the 16-gallon stock kettle here. So what I do is I go out and I gather all of the materials in big bins. I fill it right up to the top with all the vegetable matter. I crush up the tomatoes that are a little bit green, that haven't come to full ripeness yet. And we add certainly some of the herbs as well to it if we've got them handy. Just cover it with water and turn on the induction cooker below this one, because the pressure cookers and everything else is going on in the kitchen. And so this goes for 12 to 24 hours. Now I leave the lid on while we're doing this whole process, because that'll help to wilt down and help to extract. It's almost steaming the vegetables on the surface of it, and getting all the flavors and the colors and some of the phytonutrients and minerals into the water, into the broth itself. Then what I do is I bring a couple of our water bath canners. Now these are stainless steel 20-quart water bath canners that we just use for boiling down and concentrating the vegetable broth that's in here, because ultimately we want to go to pressure canning it. So concentrating it means less cans of it, and it's more concentrated. And so when you're sauteing your mushrooms and onions and all, instead of using oil, you can use some of this vegetable broth. Just add a little water to it to dilute it out a little bit, and it'll go a long ways. Excuse me. And it's hot in here right now. So once this is gone for 12 or 24 hours, I open it up. We get a couple of 20 quart. Sometimes, like today, there was also an extra about 8 quarts in another pot. And then we put them on a couple of more of these induction burners and let them concentrate further. So we want to get down to 14 or 21 quarts in total, so that next they can go through the pressure canners. And so we just use about a 1-inch headspace after this stuff is, has evaporated off, and it's really nice concentrated vegetable broth. Leave a 1-inch headspace, and then Thea cans it, and then we've got this for quite a long period of time. With the cost of organic, non-GMO, salt-free vegetable broth being between $3.50 and $4.50 in our neck of the woods, it really pays to take those materials that were just going to go to a compost pile and end up getting really valuable vegetable stock. So I thought I'd share this idea with you. I think it's real easy to miss this opportunity as a homesteader, gardener, farmer, or whatever, and get something really of value that has a long shelf life because you've canned it. Certainly can boil this down and put a few quarts in the refrigerator, and it'll probably last a couple of weeks. It'll last a week. I don't know that it'll last a couple of weeks, but we go through this stuff pretty rapidly. So if you found this video of value, give us a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. If you have any comments or questions or suggestions or things that you do as well with your vegetable stock or your garden produce, this material can still go into the gardens. It can go into the food forest. You can just put it into the food forest, throw a little mulch over the surface of it. The worms will eat this material. It just looks like it's been cooked. That's all. It can go right on to, if you're covering your garden beds over the winter time, you can incorporate this right into the first couple of inches of your garden soil, and probably by spring, as long as it isn't too chunky, that material is all going to be consumed by the earthworms as well. So it can be a prebiotic for all the microbes in your food forests, in your gardens. It can go into your compost pile, or like us, we're sealing the ponds as well. So thanks so much for watching, folks, and have a great day. Bye-bye now.